My name is Jason Ness. I am a working photographer. I've been a working photographer for about 8 years, photographing commercially, as well as some photojournalism and some travel photography. If you're going out with the expressed intention of taking pictures, I think the best thing you can do is have a decent camera, a digital SLR, single lens, reflex camera is probably the best just for your options if you're serious about taking decent photos. You have options as far as lenses are concerned. If you're shooting landscapes, you'll want maybe a wider angle lens. If you're planning on shooting people, then you'll want something with a little longer focal length on it, something that zooms a little bit more. Another thing that I've come to understand too is time of day. I realized that just in a fit of insomnia in Hanoi, Vietnam, and I couldn't sleep in my hotel, and I thought, well, I might as well get up and walk around, and I had no idea the whole city was abuzz at this hour. And it just turned me into a believer of getting up at 5 o'clock every morning and going out and walking around, taking the day off when the sun is highest in the sky, not really shooting much, and then around dinner time, going back out and shooting. 2 times that in the past, I never would have been out shooting. I'd have been out in the height of the day when everyone else is walking around, and the pictures always looked a little bit harsh. The light is really high in the sky, and they never looked the way I wanted them to look, and finally realized that time of day plays a huge part in the mood of a picture. Simple things, your horizon line, especially if you're using a wide angle lens and you're taking a picture of a large scene, keep your horizon line level. But for a general all-around rule, keep the sun at your back. You know, photographing into the sun is not an easy thing to do, unless you're shooting a sunset. Lots of people enjoy photographing sunsets, and one thing I always tell people about sunsets is turn around. You know, if you see a beautiful sunset in front of you, turn around and see what the light is doing behind you, because especially if you're on a beach, usually the land rises up like an island, and there'll be lots of trees, and if not a mountain or some palm trees, and the light will be just as beautiful as what you're looking at in the sunset. One thing I always like to recommend too to anyone who's asking about photography is, before you click the shutter, a really simple rule that we learned in school years ago is just look at all 4 corners of your frame. It's not hard to do. It takes an extra second, and often you'll find things like, oh darn, maybe I should cut that little branch out that's coming into the frame, or maybe I should include it, but just do a quick scan. It takes a split second to do. Look at all 4 corners, then snap the picture. And I recommend that even to people who are just shooting family photos.